Hello and welcome to this episode where we're going to talk about assigning MIDI controllers and getting creative with them in Cubase. So basically what we're going to use is we're going to use a MIDI keyboard, in this case just regular MIDI keyboard with a mod wheel that will prove useful later on. And I will also use my TouchOSC controller with 8 faders assigned to it. Now, I've done a video before on using the TouchOSC controller, so I'm not going to do so much talk about that, but I will talk about how to assign them to track controls. So the progress here is that first we're going to talk about assigning and getting the correct controls to control what you want, and then we're going to watch how it works with an instrument track, with MIDI sending to Vienna Ensemble Pro 7, and following that we will conclude by just getting creative with assigning multiple stuff to the same controller. So that's basically it. Let's go straight to it. So here we are. I will open the studio setup, and there we find the generic remote that we talked about in an early video, where we have TouchOSC bridge and a lot of parameters. And I must say my controller has turned into quite a monster right now. Hit me a comment if you want me to do an episode on my controller. It's not done. It would probably never be done, but it's monster enough so far. But what we're going to look at now is the track quick controls at the left hand side. You will see that I've assigned it to the same TouchOSC bridge because the MIDI parameters that I want to use are on the same controller. And then we have the control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which are 8 faders, and the corresponding MIDI channel and address for those faders. If you don't know the MIDI channel and address for your fader, you can either go into the TouchOSC editor and check the number there, or if you have the new version of TouchOSC, you can look straight into the app, or you can press learn. You can go to your controller and you can actually just move the fader. Then you will see that it shifts the address to the correct one just by moving it. So now I have my faders assigned from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to the far right. I will take away learn because then I won't mess up what I already have. And the flag here is receive in my case. Not going to spend much time talking about that, so we'll just click OK. With our quick controls assigned, we can go to the left hand side of the project window, where we have the quick controls. Now if you can't see the quick controls, you press setup and tick off quick controls to make it visible. In this case here, we go to the instrument track with a contact instance with a loaded Spitfire audio instrument. Then we can see that it's actually has got pre-assigned controllers to the faders. So the first slot here is my first fader, the controller 1. The second slot is my second fader, the controller 2. The third slot is my third, and so on. Just checking that we are on the right page here. And yeah, following it all the way to the 8 controller. So if I now touch my faders, you can see that they move correspondingly as I touch them. So that's all well and fine. Now, if we want to change something here, we can just press the slot and we get a list of stuff we can do. So for instance, for the contact instrument that I have loaded, we have these options: mic level 1, mic level 2, dynamics, vibrato, release, reverb, and so on. I'm going to keep it on expression. Now, if you have a Vienna Ensemble Pro 7 instance, like this MIDI bar here, there is nothing assigned because the VST instrument is not in Cubase, it's outside of Cubase in Vienna Ensemble Pro 7. Now, if you know what Vienna Ensemble Pro 7 is, then you will perhaps fancy this and find its use. If you don't know what Vienna Ensemble Pro is, you probably won't need this right now until you get the Vienna Ensemble Pro 7. Google it, because it's lovely, actually, absolutely lovely. However, I do have Vienna Ensemble Pro now, so if we click here on the empty slot, my first fader, we can scroll all the way down to the all CC, and I will choose CZ1 modulation for my first. Click on CZ11 expression on my second fader, and you will see them move as I touch my faders. And now if we open the VST instance in Vienna Ensemble Pro 7, we can see that it's controlled correspondingly or accordingly. So actually that works pretty well. Now let's get back to Contact. Leave this be right now. I will open the instance where I have preloaded a violin patch, which I've already programmed a little bit. Basically what I will do here right now is that I will just move my mod wheel, and you will see what happens when I move this one controller. A lot of stuff. So actually I can assign multiple parameters to the same one and have them do different stuff. Now this is how to do it. I will right click on the parameter I want to assign, and I will press learn, and I will move the fader, in this case the mod wheel. Sorry, can't be muted. There we are. Now if we right click again, we see it assigned here. We also see the previous one still assigned. I can press remove and just have it disappear, or I can get creative and assign the same function to different faders. So for instance, you can have one fader that you use for longs, one fader for shorts, one for effects, so on, one for pizzicatos and whatever. So you can actually get really creative with assigning the same stuff for different needs. So I'm going to keep on doing this now for the rest of the faders. Right click, learn, move, right click, learn, move, right click, learn, move, and guess what? Right click, learn, move. The only hiccup here now is that they all move the same. To change that, we're going to go to automation, MIDI automation, move the fader or the controller, the mod wheel in this case, and we see it light up here. I click that function, and then we can see everything that has been assigned to it here. I will scroll down to the violas, which I'm working on now. We have the dynamics. I want to keep that as is. The mic level 1, the close mic, I don't want that to go all the way up, so I will change from 100% down to 80%. So now if I move the wheel, you see that it will stop at 80%. Now if I go all the way down, you will see that it turns off. That can be a problem, so I will set the bottom to 1% so it stays switched on. I'll do the same for the second mic, add 1% to the bottom, but I will not change the top. For the vibrato, which is next, I don't want that kind of strong vulgar vibrato, I just want something subtle, so I will add 35%. In this case, could be whatever, it's just a number for now. For the reverb, I want that to move in reverse, so I will crank that up to 100% and drop the top down to 0%. And now you can see it move in the opposite direction, which means that we get more room sound the softer we play. And for the final expression, I will keep that to 8% or so. And there we are. So if I now take the long harmonics and play together with the same stuff here on the sul tasto. Now all this now is me just moving my mod wheel, and we can listen to it. So you can see that you can actually get really creative with textures and kind of microphone placements and all that stuff using just one fader, or imagine doing the same stuff here but differently for 8 faders and so on. Now, thank you for watching and hope you found this useful. If you did, please hit subscribe, hit the bell button and hit like, and please feel free to share to however many people you want. If you have any future requests for future videos, please just drop me a comment below and I'll see what I can do. So, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Cheers.